So I saw something recently, like 5 minutes ago, I was drinking coffee, about, it was just a screenshot from somebody from Reddit, and it was kind of typical group behavior in WoW, and I'm sure other MMOs, if they adopted this system that WoW has. I think we pick on WoW a lot because they're kind of on the top, but I think it's good to do so, though, because they are representative of, potential trends moving forward in other massive multiplayer online games. And I think they really have kind of shaped the environment for a lot of massive multiplayer online games, like other titles, other IPs. It's regarding the looting system that we've kind of received over the last couple expansions. This idea of the personal loot, wherein a group of X people goes in and does some kind of group content, dungeon, raid, whatever, world boss. And then upon looting the corpse, either you get something or you don't. That's basically it. Loot is personal. It's handled on. It's kind of handled on the client side. Your loot your loot never interacts with any other player, and it's kind of a flip of the coin. Either heads you got loot, tails you did not, and then after that it's a roll of the dice that says if yes you got loot, you got this loot. And then there's a further roll of the dice that says yes you got this loot, and it's either Titanforge, Warforged, Titanforge with the tertiary, all that shit. So. And this is kind of a good time to talk about. People talk about like all the RNG in the looting system. That's kind of what they're getting at. That there's just layers of systems, layers of dice rolls and coin flips that make it very hard to target individual pieces of gear. And I think kind of explained in that way, where there's just so many different roles and variables, that really kind of explains. I think a little bit better than it's just too random as to why people don't like this system. I used to be one of the people that I didn't have an issue with the Warforged, Titanforge. I also did have an issue with personal loot because it makes sense on paper. I don't think it was something done maliciously. Maybe not entirely. I think there's definitely the idea that it keeps people playing longer because it's harder to get best in slot items. But I think on paper, it's a really good idea. So that's the current system that we have with the personal loot. Flip a coin, yes or no. So the old system was X people go in, do group content. We'll say it's a 5-man dungeon. You go in, and at the end, there would be Y pieces of gear, usually 2. And then so I think it was... God, it's been so long I can't even remember. I believe the way it worked is either in a pug you would just let the game do it for you. So the gear would pop up and you'd be given 3 options: need, greed, or pass. Pass was pass. That's the easy one. If you passed it, you didn't get a chance at it. And then need and greed both gave you a roll 1 through 100 that was made public and displayed in the chat box. And then the higher number 1. Now, the catch here was that need rolls outweighed greed rolls. So a greed roll of 100 was outweighed by a need roll of 1. And then Blizzard put some limitations on it where, it's a cloth he couldn't roll on bind on pickup plate armor. They couldn't need roll on it because they don't need it. They may want it. Collect it as a transmog, disenchant it, whatever, but they don't need it. And I think this system worked out pretty well. There was some room for abuse. There was still those times where, if bind on equip items dropped, a lot of times you would get people would kind of not pay attention that it isn't something that, they might see. It's a piece of cloth gear. I'm a plate wearer. Not realizing that it has bind on equip, meaning they could roll on it. They could need roll, so they would hit greed, but then the other 4 people realize that, yeah, this is fine on equip, they now roll need. And that's usually how I always saw whenever I was running a group. If a piece of bind on equip items dropped, everybody need rolls because then it evens the playing field. And then you get to that where it's like, well, I actually do need that. Well, then you would kind of deal with that on an individual level, and everybody kind of get together and say, well, and it was based off of how much it was worth. If it was, a substantially expensive piece of gear, it's like, sorry, bro, but this is worth a lot. I'm not just going to hand that over, because you could go sell it yourself. So it did lead to some sticky situations like that, but not often. I feel like more times than not, there wasn't that kind of need greed system that we had was pretty good. And I think, again, it goes towards pushing social interactions where now